Welcome to Talvon Talks. Thank you for coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and jump right into this topic. I was hesitant. However, if I am not talking about sensitive topics, which this is a very, very sensitive topic, then I am not doing my job. And I vowed to myself to stay true to myself and just speak whatever is on my mind. And I'm just saying all that. The topic today is transgender and mental health. So if this is something that you're interested in and or pertaining to you, thank you for coming. If not, I will see you on the next discussion. Again, Talvon Talks is about empowering, educating, and entertaining. Okay. Also happy Memorial Day. I don't want it to be too touch and go, so I do have my wine here. Memorial Day is on Monday. I have my relaxing jazz music, so I don't want to make this a pointing the finger. I always say I'm not trying to revert or convert anyone. However, it is important to shed light on these sensitive topics. If there is light shed on them, that is where change perspires. You cannot allow change to happen if it is not stirred up, if there is no agitation, if there is no spotlight, I guess I can say. I have been a part and participating in the LGBTQ community for a while now. When you are participating and living a lifestyle, you see a lot of things. I have always been observant. What I'm doing in my life now is completely different. However, I still believe that it's my duty to carry myself along with anyone that is struggling with any issues. I like to think of myself as a mental and emotional philanthropist, and that meaning that I have a obligation and a responsibility when it comes to people and their emotions and their feelings to continue to move forward, to strive to do better, because everyone is not aware how to do those commonsensical things. Just the smallest thing of forgiveness, forgiving yourself, loving yourself, moving forward. So with that being said, I do want to highlight and address transgender, the transgender community, whether that's male to female or female to male, being trans man. There are so many different categories. There are so many different labels. There are so many different identifications that society brings on these individuals. There are so many different identifications that the actual individual classifies as. So if there is any terms that I am using that is not you, please forgive me. And it's just being respectful to the individual and towards the LGBTQ community, as well as any transgenders that may be tuning in. Like I said, if this is not for you, this is your time to go ahead and click out now. If so, then thank you again for coming. And just to give you a little bit of a background about myself, I am from up north. I'm from Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, there's the Stroll, there's 15th Street, and I'm just speaking of some lingos of and some places, as well as trademarks. The Pier, New York, where transgenders lie, where it has been known for transgender to be. These areas were the neighborhood in New York, Penn's Landing, different landmarks where and around those areas in which it was a place for the LGBTQ community to go, to feel safe, to meet one another. Now it's almost a place of where transgenders make their money, and more along the lines of male to female. So I just asked myself, why is it that transgender male to female more are subjected to a lifestyle of escorting, subjected to a lifestyle of drugs, subjected to a lifestyle of poverty? Even when it comes to transgender female to male, trans men, they're dealing with depression, they're dealing with anxiety, they're dealing with acts of feeling wanted, acts of oppression and depression. And mental health is like ground zero of anyone striving, continuing to move forward. If you don't have a good stability of mental health, it almost puts you at where am I, why am I here, of doubts. You start to ask yourself certain questions that it's just like trying to find yourself all over again. You know what I mean? So I want to get to a place to where our norm is the new norm. What role are you playing in someone else's success? What role are you playing in someone else's deterioration? What role are you playing in the acts of these suicides that are happening, in the acts of these situations of abuse? And you can't say that these individuals bring it on themselves by a certain promiscuous lifestyle of a certain environment. Because if you were to say that, then you would have to also put yourself in the shoes of that you're also bringing certain things onto yourself by being in a certain environment and a certain light. Is that fair to say? I wouldn't say so, because everyone has an opinion. Everyone has the right and the entitled to do what they want. We're birthed in this world to have free will, you know. So I just wanted to bring light. I always talk about my best friend, Leslie, whom I've actually watched through the entire process prior to being a transgender, now being a transgender woman. However, I've seen her go from lingos of what we call a butch queen to drag queen to pre-op transsexual, and sometimes that's where most transgender male to female stop at. They stop at pre-op transsexual, which means prior to the surgery. And that's before the surgery, before any male parts are removed, so they still have their male species that they were born with. They still have their genitals to where that's what they've chosen. So there's also femme queens, same thing, transgender male to female women that have had the surgery. That does not make them any different. They still carry their lives on the street the same way as a woman. It's just the label and their decision to make that full decision. However, where is all of that lie on a mental health scale when it comes to before the surgery? Even after the surgery, there's a whole mental health issue that one has to go through in order to continue to move forward, because that's a lot. If I'm born in this world with one thing and now I have something completely different, I have to relearn this organism. I have to grow with this organism, so it's just a lot to deal with, even the mental process and taking everything in, let alone doing it. So imagine not doing it. Where does that mental state lie? Where is that mental state? What does that mental state look like? Even before all that, just making the decision of what someone is going to say, your family, your loved ones, your friends, it's already ostracized by society. Transgender is still almost like black and white or slavery when it comes to our norm. It's not accepted 110%. I feel almost being gay is more accepted than being a transgender. I've had people say to me, "Oh, you a cool gay dude, da 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 da, all this, what that." And I mean, I get it, but to someone else, what does that mean? You know what I mean? So it's a lot perceptionally, and it's a lot also mentally, and I know that. So this is trans looking this is trans from the outside looking in, because like I said, I'm not trans. I'm not a transgender. However, even that term trans, can be offensive sometimes. So I am not transgender. This is perception of a trans from the outside looking in. However, I have been in the community for so long that I feel as though that I'm able to make these observations and these and also have these opinions to further along someone. Like, we can look on a scale and see who's doing what. I mean, on our platform, who's actually doing something with their lives other than escorting, other than selling their bodies, other than being on drugs, other than wasting their lives, other than the ones that we see. And I don't want to name drop and stuff like that, but I mean, it's clear the ones that we see on a platform, and I can't even say that, so I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm just saying, as far as LGBT community, RuPaul is not transgender. He works as a drag queen. He says that is a occupation for him. Other people say different. That's not my place. That's not what we're here for. I just wanted to bring up some of the ones as far as people in the LGBT community on a platform that are doing great things for the next person, that are doing great things for themselves. And I think that it is a time where transgenders need to step up, step out, say, hey, I'm better than the drugs. I'm better than escorting. I love myself enough not to do this anymore. People go through so many different things, even being a stripper or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's frowned down on, but somebody has to do the job. There's a demand for it. It's money in it. It can be a dangerous lifestyle. There's a lot of stuff that's a dangerous lifestyle that people are put on the front lines. And I'm using these analogies, I'm using these examples that may not be to you in the same light or looked at the same way, but that's what makes me different from anyone else. I don't look at the individual frowning down on what they're doing. I don't look at the individual sending them, proclaiming them and sending them to hell or whatever like that. That's not what we as individuals are here for. We are not God. We are not here to condemn and to judge people. All I'm doing is shedding light on something that's way, way bigger than me. Why transgenders feel as though they have to put themselves down, already more down than society already does, and really giving themselves a bad name. You know, you can conclude transgender and gay all, not really, but all in the same boat as being a statistic. And it's like, why not be better? Do what you truly want to do, but why not be better? Be a transgender. Get your ID the correct way. Make sure it says he, she, you, them, whoever you want it to say. And go get a business, write a book. Become a cosmetologist. I mean, they're out there. They're out there. Trust and believe, like I said, I'm not speaking to the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that's out there that's doing great things. You have Isis. She was on Top Model. She was a transgender. You have some newer ones that are doing great things in the acting community or in the acting industry. So like I said, I'm not here to name drop. I'm not here to speak on individuals or celebrities or anyone particularly in the transgender community that are doing whatever. I'm not here for that. All I'm here is to shed light on the ones that are at home right now, the ones that are looking at this, maybe the ones that are actually transgender, getting ready to make that decision. Is this really what you want to do? Because once you become what you believe that you want to become, those attributes follow. Those issues that you may not have had before will come. And I hate to say it in that manner, but that is what it is. It's those things that you did not deal with before that you have to deal with now. I just want to get back to the story really quick on how people just say, "Oh, you a gay dude" or whatever like that. I didn't complete what I was getting ready to say. I was getting ready to say that guys say that to me, that you're a cool gay dude like that, but at least you're not a transgender out here, tricking people and da 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 da. I didn't say that. That's what they say. That's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of things. That's not to say. Well, I'm playing on that. That's being judgmental. That's bantering. That's badgering people. That I don't believe in those things. Okay, like my shirt says, secure the bag. You gotta secure the bag. And that may be what you call it, securing a bag or whatever like that. But as long as you're securing a bag and you selling this and you selling that, you're not going to do nothing but submerge yourself into a whole different other frenzy of issues. Because with escorting becomes drug abuse. With escorting becomes dangerous situations, even more dangerous than what you're doing to yourself, as far as allowing others to come around you in your circle. They're on something, you're on something, you may be on something in your right mind, they may not be on something in their right mind, have sex with you and then kill you. It's happened before. Like, it's happened in many times in Philadelphia. These femme queens, known femme queens that have been on the stroll for so many years, pumping silicone in the girls or whatever like that, and now they're heard of being found with their face in a pillow, ass up, in some type of crazy lingerie or whatever like that, because someone came in there that they allowed, that was supposed to be a stunt. And for people that are not, keen on the lingo, they're supposed to be a coin, a date, or someone that they thought that they were going to get one up on, and in return, it was the opposite. There's people out here nowadays literally prying on transgenders. They want to kill them. They're in their minds. They're guys that have done their dirt, and they don't believe that, or whatever it is. People are crazy. that they'll participate in something and then turn around and do something else. Like, that's crazy. Like, there's so many different situations of people having sex with people and then killing them. That happens in the heterosexual and the homosexual community. It's just crazy. Life is crazy. The world is crazy right about now. And then you have everything on top of what's going on. Like, I am here to say, make a change for the good, whatever that is. I'm not telling you to stop doing what you're doing. I'm not telling you to oh, you don't need to be doing this no more. That's not my place. That's your place. I am just here to shed light. Okay? So, and like I said, I always talk about my friend Leslie and stuff like that. I've watched her become this person that she was not. I've watched her be subjected so much to the lifestyle that she became the biggest advocate of not doing drugs to doing drugs. Only thing she used to do was just smoke and drink, smoke and drink, smoke and drink. Alcoholism is hereditary in her family on her father's side. And next thing you know, we go from talking about people that were on drugs, sometimes in a negative light and sometimes in a positive light. I'm not gonna lie, we were friends, it's that key, like, girl, they doing this, they doing that, or whatever like that. And it was just more on a basis as they're doing it and we're not. Then the day she told me, I can just see everything in her eyes, like, almost like I said, I wasn't that person that judged. When she told me that, what she did and stuff like that, or in the beginning period that, she started using and stuff like that, I looked directly in her eyes and I almost seen her soul leave her body. And that could, well, I'm not going to explain. I'm not even going to explain. How I say things is how I say things. It may be drastic. Of course, it wasn't like she was doing drugs and I seen her soul leave her body, but it's what she told me and how she knew I felt about it. And I don't know if that was, because even after that was years on into where we were still friends before life just mutually parted ways. And life just mutually separated us. And that's okay sometimes. But when she told me, it was just like, I'm going to tell him, but I don't want to tell him and stuff like that, because she knew how I felt about it. And she knew the different things that we were doing as far as standing up, trying to be better, trying not to do stuff. Of course, we wasn't perfect. She drank, I smoked, or whatever like that. It was, so it wasn't anything like that. But as far as those hard drugs, we didn't do those things and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie. I've took an E-pill before. I've said it before. I don't want this to be a repeat. But like I said, I'm not perfect to this day. No one is. And like I said, I'm just shedding light on things that are bigger than me. And I watched Leslie literally lose herself and lose her life and lose her mind. Dates and escorting became like second nature. And I mean I'm used to it as well. That's something that I did for a long period of time and stuff like that, without even money being involved. Yes, I escorted before and stuff like that, but on as far as sex and stuff like that, and meeting up with guys and dates and stuff like that, that was natural for me as well. So it wasn't something that I was being judgmental about to her. It was just the fact that it became that you're not even doing this to live off of now. You're doing this to feed habits. And habits that go up so high and come down so quick. Talking about cocaine and even leading up to crack, like, it all just gives birth to bigger things. And I always wonder why people said that and stuff like that. They said it to me, oh, you don't need to be doing this. All I do is give birth to other things. I'm not trying to be funny, but smoking weed is the only thing I didn't did. The only thing, like I said, I've done other things before, little, this and that and stuff like that. But I was blessed. Not, I'm just gonna say I was blessed to have a mentality and to not get not to get strung out. And anything could have happened. Anybody could have laced my blood at one point in time. Anybody could have did anything. So it's really just the grace of God that kept me away from certain people, places, and things, even though I was right there in it. Like I said, I'm from Philadelphia. I wasn't raised in the dirt, right there in the center, right in Philadelphia, but I was in the tri-state. I was born in Philadelphia, Frankfurt Torresdale Hospital, and when my mom brought me back, she brought me back to Jersey, Bristol area, or whatever like that. So the whole Jersey, Camden, tri-state, Washington D.C., New York, I was there. I was there, and everything is within reach. Cocaine is within reach. Weed is within reach. Like drugs are within reach. Sex is within reach. Like everything is there in your face times 10, times 20, or whatever like that. When you get of age, even when you're not of age, it's there. You just probably don't know and realize because you're a child, and a child's mind is innocent. You know what I mean? Until somebody breaks that, or until somebody introduces you, or until somebody brings you to the forefront. And this is the same thing. Until somebody brings you to the forefront of what you're doing to yourself, until someone brings you to the forefront of what you're doing to your body, you do not know. Like I said, someone told me at one point that love yourself. What does that mean? People say it all the time, but when it was coming from a place of love, when it was coming from my mother and my cousins and stuff like that, and they're seeing they're seeing on a bigger level that I'm doing things and I'm not loving myself, it makes you wonder, what the hell, what the fuck are they talking about? What they talking about? I love myself and stuff like that, but did you really? I didn't love myself if I'm up here trying to chase the next nut, almost to the point to where I'm not giving a fuck about life or myself or anybody else. So that's all I'm doing is bringing attention to things that people struggle with for years and don't realize what's going on until it's too late. You know what I mean? I've watched people, like, what is the reason? Like already being a transgender is a mental state that one has to deal with that is completely the opposite. Like, you're fighting yourself, you're doubting yourself, you are choosing a lifestyle that people don't choose on a regular. You're choosing to go against all society. You're saying, hey, this is not me. You're doing all of that. You're saying, this is not me. I want to be this now. I want that. You're literally fighting yourself, society, your family, everything. And a person that struggles or battles with things on a daily, and to resist the temptation, it has similarities. I can relate. I can definitely relate how it feels to feel to be ostracized by society because you made a decision, because you want something else for yourself. You want something so greater that you don't even know how to obtain or how to put terms down onto it. And I could only imagine the age differences now that are coming up, some that we're aware of and some that we're not. Like I said, I'm not going to mention anything in detail on my channel. However, there's cases of younger people becoming transgender at young ages, and people are not dumb. They know who they are and what they want at a young age. It's just unfortunate because of society that you have to make those decisions to refrain from those decisions until a certain age, I think is the best way that I can put it, because if not, you will bring a lot more on yourself than you may be ready for. And just to elaborate on that, I really never believed in putting any child on hormones at 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 or 9 or 10 years old, where they haven't even had puberty yet. Number one, where they haven't even had a mental stability yet of what they even want to do career wise, let alone what you want to do with your body. You should know in your mind who you are completely before you make a decision that is life changing like that, before you start putting your body on life altering medications that sends you through emotional transitions, that sends you through physical transitions. So it's okay to voice those opinions, to exercise verbally those opinions. That way, yes, you are still being mentally healthy by elaborating those to someone that cares, to someone that is actually going to take that information and know what to do with it. Not people that are going to, girl, you need to go ahead and do that right now, and other people that are going to doubt you even more, or people that are going to hurt you with the information once you release it. You can't tell everybody everything. You cannot tell everyone everything. I don't even believe in telling my right hand what my left hand is going to do. Listen, secure the bag physically, secure the bag financially, whatever you have to do, secure that bag. That way you can be a better individual. That way you can be the best you. That way you can proclaim the next generation. You can drive the next generation to what you experienced and what you're going through now, and what other people don't have to go through because of just one word that you said. That's all it is. That's all it is just words. That's all it is empowerment, inspiration. That's why I'm here. That's why I am shedding light on this topic. Not to badger people, not to beat people up. I'm not looking at this to get views, not to get money. I'm a public speaker. I'm a public advocate for experiences and situations that I have observed for years, that I've gone through, that I've watched loved ones go through. So why not help someone else? Especially in a day and age to where people are taking their lives because of someone else and what they said out of their mouths in a hateful manner. That should not be happening. Beating up on somebody for no reason, that should not happen. You know, people, they immediately get mad and upset. Oh, that's a man. Da, 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 da. What are you doing all that for? Or women. The next thing you know, everybody start laughing. Or the pointing the finger. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in scenarios to where somebody is, girl, if you don't stop hitting me, I got eyes. Or they asking, is that it? I don't know what's in between their legs. Like I really do not like that. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I have been in instances, yes, to where it has happened to me. Women, male, whatever, they've done it, and they've tried to get me to veer in on that. I'm not gonna lie. Have I laughed? Yes. Have I participated before? Yes. When I didn't know any better, or even still to this day. We're only human, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to allow anyone to rear me in, okay? Like, I'm not going to allow anyone to allow me to deter someone else's success, to deter anyone else's I'm at loss for words. I'm not going to allow anybody to have a hand to where I'm thinking later, oh man, and for a fact that person is looking. They're always looking, or they've seen you. Even if it isn't anything. Sometimes we are our worst enemies by thinking that someone else said something, overthinking things, by even reacting off of something that you thought somebody did. Like, try not to react all the time, because things are going to perspire, things are going to happen around you, and they might not even have anything to do with you. My mother always told me and stuff like that, first of all, that when you're mad, nobody cares. You can be mad at the world, nobody cares. My mother has also taught me and stuff like that if somebody's mad or somebody's angry, somebody's laughing, you don't know what's going on in their head. You can't react, and you can't be, what's all that about and stuff like that. You don't know what they're going through. That's not even in your lane. If somebody's not saying anything directly to you, don't go off of what you think and stuff like that by just reacting, because most likely it may not come back good, and then by that time you explaining in your mind, and already it's too late, because whatever perspired already happened. So it's just, we have to take 2 steps back and realize that we're not perfect. We have to take 2 steps back and realize what role are we playing daily or what part are we playing daily in the role of digging someone's grave 6 feet under? Or are we encouraging them? Are we helping them? Are we pushing them along? Are we pushing them forward? And that's what I believe in. I believe in pushing people forward. I believe in pushing people into their destinies, because if you don't do that, if that's not happening, then what are they doing in their lives? Yes, like I said, everybody needs to take their own responsibility. Everybody needs to take pride and fault in the things that they're doing, whether it's positive or negative. But I'm telling you, when you don't know, or when you just in your shit and you just doing and ain't nobody ever taught you, ain't nobody ever said nothing to you, ain't nobody ever say, this or that, that's when it becomes ignorance, the act of not knowing. That's when it becomes, well, dang, ain't nobody ever tell me that. Or that's when it becomes, well, dang, I ain't never been subjected around that. At least you have, or at least I have had my ancestors. At least I've had religion. At least I've had this and that, to music, all these things to get my mind off of this, to allow me to move forward, to allow that to take this away from me, so I'm not feeling like this. Like, I knew what to do in most scenarios and stuff like that. Now, did I do it? No, because that was my rebellion. That was my hard-headedness. That was that curiosity in me, or whatever like that. But curiosity killed the cat and stuff like that. That's another saying and stuff like that. But it's true. Curiosity can kill the cat. You so curious, you want to do this, you want to do that. You touching this, you touching that. You don't know what this is, you want to do that. And then when you find out what it is and what it does to your body, that's when it becomes an issue. That's when it becomes already too late. So when is your too late? When is your transition? When is your turning point? When is your time to change? When are you going to be fed up? When are you going to realize that this is not me? This is not the end. There's more to life. That's what I want to talk about. That's what this whole message is about. That's what the whole video is about. What can you do different on a different level to where it is channeling and progressing the minds of others, progressing the behaviors of others, progressing yourself. Because I'm telling you, like, ask yourself what you're doing, and me doing is it going to make me a millionaire? Me doing this, am I going to graduate from this? Am I going to get an Emmy? Am I going to get an award? I mean, these are the rewards and the awards and the acts that people look for when they're doing something. But even with all that pushed out the way, what performance are you doing to yourself and in your life that doesn't require any reward? Like, my reward is my future, when I can look back and say, oh my God, I did this, and this, and this, and I'm still alive. I did this, and this, and I'm still here. I did this and this, and I'm still able to breathe. I'm still able to use my limbs. I'm still able to move. I'm still able to carry this video in a light to where I'm reaching people in lives, in souls, in spirits that I feel I can't reach on a verbal level, that I can't just walk up and say, hey, I noticed you da-da-da-da. I noticed this, I noticed that. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I am going to conclude, and I am so glad that I got that off my chest. I'm getting chills right now, which means that I know what's going on. I have signs that and things that happen to me that allows me to experience the good, the bad, and the ugly. I the same feeling that I get when something good is happening, that I'm getting right now, I get that same intuition when something is not for me, when something is bad. It does not come overnight. Sometimes it happens to people and they don't even know what it is. You have to understand what that is, what that looks like for you. You have to, with experience and wisdom and knowledge, gain those things. That way, when you are into certain instances and certain situations, you know how to move away from them. Okay? I thank you so much for joining. Let me put this glass down. I thank y'all so much for joining. Again, my name is Kareem Talvon Hutchinson. I am the creator of Talvon Talks, which you are experiencing right now, where growth is inevitable through life experiences, knowledge, and understanding. Please stay tuned to the next discussions. This Friday, actually, I'm not sure of the topic, but I am going to have I'm going to have some of the same ladies that were here last time with us, Lisa and Asia, and they will be featuring, like I said, on Friday. So tune into that topic. I'm sure it's going to be great. We are so natural when it comes to communicating with each other. And I really love the group of friends that and the circle that God has placed around me in this time. I'm also appreciative of the friends and loved ones that God put in my life previously, and I'm also so ecstatic to meet the new circle of friends that I will have within the next 5 to 10 years, because guys, it does change. Trust me, it changed. People, places, and things change. They really do. I spoke on my Facebook page the other day under Talvon Talks. Like I said, this is totally a different thing. But on my Facebook page, you can see daily inspirational messages, or most likely questions that gets people to think, and also creates conversations, intellectual conversations. And I said, what did negative or positive, what did you take away from your childhood? And someone said they learned about people and how people switch up, and it really did drive a point home that yes, it doesn't matter people, places, or things. People do switch up. You can know someone for an eternity or a lifetime, or for 10 minutes, 10 years, 10 months. You will see their true colors, whether that's negative, positive, or whatever like that. People switch up. People switch up no matter what's going on. So whether that's, for the good, for the bad, life experiences take people through different things to where they change. Me, I can definitely tell you that I have changed immensely from now to definitely a year ago, and even definitely 10 years ago. So I am not doing the same things. I'm not doing the same people. I'm not doing the same anything anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm just appreciative where God has allowed me to be. And I guess this is just like, my end of the video talk. But I just wanted to conclude just a little bit of words of wisdom. And I would like to think that this all is not in vain. Like I said, I am doing something that's totally bigger than me. I'm purging myself. I'm purging my spirit. I'm purging everything that's on my mind and my body. And it's going to take on a totally different journey once it becomes released. So again, I thank you for joining. Please come back. There are all type of different topics that you can live and learn from. Some, like I said, that are very, very sensitive, like this one. Some that are very liberal, and some that are very informative. So again, thank you for joining, and happy Memorial Day, everybody. Come back. Feel free to join in on any of my other playlists that are entertaining you, as well as my cooking channel, which has its own playlist, cooking, which I am a chef and have been for 20 years plus. Like I said, I have many endeavors that I have my hands in, and I would like to keep it that way. Also, channeling multiple streams of income, and also public speaking, as well as an emotional and mental philanthropist. I'm going to keep saying that because that is what I believe. That is what I am doing now. That is what also what I desire. Before I couldn't say that, but that's what I desire. I desire to help people. I desire to push people into their roles to where they don't have to look towards the streets and stuff like that. It's almost like parenting and stuff like that. You would like to teach your children what they need to know in their homes, but what they get on the outside most likely is what grows them, is what builds them, is what they get and what they learn. So that's why you have to, definitely watch where your children and your loved ones are at all times, in their environment and the people that they hang around. Definitely in this time of age. So thank you guys for joining. I'm going to end it because, like I said, I'm going to keep talking. That's how I am. I'm going to keep talking. So thank you for joining. And please come back.